Okay, let's get this show ready. Let's get it going. All right, folks. Hey, this is Sherman Ray, and this is the Livin in Vegas podcast. Time to get this show started, shall we? Well, good morning, everybody. This is Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast. I want to welcome you all to the show today, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think of living in Vegas, folks, think living local and the return of cool, of course. I want to welcome you all to the show today. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. I spent a little bit of time with some real old friends that I had not seen in a long time. We're going to talk about that, which is really cool. And there were a lot of things that happened this weekend. I mean, a lot of things that happened this weekend. So, some good, some not so good, but always eventful here in Las Vegas. But before we get going, I want to welcome all my friends from Las Vegas who are on our Living in Vegas group pages, on our magazine page, on Living Weekly page, on Black Success magazine page. And I got an announcement. I probably should do that as quickly as possible. So I remember we were talking about this. Let's adjust this just a little bit. We were talking about this a couple weeks ago, where so I had an announcement I was going to make, and one of the things I was going to do is many of you know that my wife Linda and I have had networking groups and been a part of organizations for many, many years. I mean, we've been working with business owners for many years. I founded the Black Business Chamber of Commerce in the city of Las Vegas, and early on in our networking career, we became parts of a organization called Christian Business Connection, and started by a friend of mine by the name of Mike Gutierrez. And Mike's a real good guy. He's a painter here in Las Vegas, and Mike had the heart to reach out to the Christian business community, and so we became a part of his organization. We did a couple of events with him, which is real cool. As a matter of fact, Sean Cannell, some of you might have heard that name before. Sean Cannell lives in Las Vegas. He has a media company, and he started. When I first met him was over 10 years ago, and I met him as a part of this event that I was emceeing being the MC for a Christian business type thing. And so when I met, and now Sean has like 1 million YouTube followers, over 1 million. I mean, it's just huge. So fast forward now, 10 years later, we both started businesses. Everybody's done their thing, and I looked at the Facebook page for the Christian Business Connection, and I noticed that every time I posted something there, it just kind of sat there for a while. I thought, wow, that's kind of unusual. Well, I guess it wouldn't be unusual. A lot of businesses start on Facebook and you never see them do anything. And you just kind of, it is what it is. But this one I was a part of and had been a part of since the beginning. And I thought, hey, this is kind of unusual. So I reached out to Mike and I said, hey, Mike, I'd like to, if you're not going to do anything with this group, would you consider letting me take it over and just having it be a part of what I do as a part of living in Vegas and being a cheerleader for Las Vegas and business and kind of the whole thing. And he goes, sure. He goes, yeah, you can have the group. And I went, wow, that was pretty quick, but I was very happy about it. And so we started the process of me becoming the leader of the Christian Business Connection group. Well, as fate would have it, one thing led to another. We really never were able to get to the point where I was able to take over the group on Facebook. And I said, I'm the kind of guy, when I'm doing something, I like to do it now. I'm really not a waiting guy. I don't generally wait for months and months and months. I generally, if I've got an idea, and this is the reason why. And the reason why is because I'm one of those guys, and this is going to get very esoteric. Let's do this. Let's take a break real quick. well, and I'll come back and I'll tell you why I'm the whole esoteric guy. And so we'll be back in just a second, okay? Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right, folks, we are back as Sherman Ray, and this is Livin in Vegas podcast. And once again, if you are a business owner and you'd like to be on our show, definitely contact me at info, or you can do it either way. It's either advertising@livininvegas.com. There's a gnat flying around, or info@livininvegas.com. So either one, okay? Info@livininvegas.com or advertising@livininvegas.com. And I can see there's so Livin, so Livin. Okay, so I want to make sure everybody gets that, because I can see subtitles on one of my Facebook pages here. Got to make sure that you get this right. So, anyways, we'd love to get you on, and we'll talk more about it. As a matter of fact, I did a podcast for a friend of mine. Her name is Ann Parenti, and she has a great magazine called Chic Compass. And so she asked me to do her podcast for her, so I did that. So I love doing that kind of stuff. I mean, I can talk all day. So anyways, let me tell you about why in the last segment we were talking about how I don't like to wait for things. And it has nothing to do with people or anything like that. It really doesn't. So if I've stepped on your toes before, folks, it is nothing personal. It really isn't very personal. I generally have no odd against any person. I can't think of anybody that I can think of a couple people, but that I have aught against, but it's not, I don't have a long list of people. I just don't have, just never got into that. So anyways, the reason why I don't like waiting around is because I believe ideas are like, they are living, breathing things. And when an idea wants to manifest, it's going to look for whoever wants to take hold of it. Okay, I know it's kind of a weird esoteric thing, but have you ever had those deja vu moments? You know what I mean? Where you go, oh, I was thinking about that, and now somebody's doing it. Okay, well, those ideas did come to you, and it's not deja vu. It was an idea that came to you, and it might have come to you months ahead of time. It could have come to you years before, but you said no. And when you said no, guess what? That idea went, okay, fine. I want to manifest myself someplace. And so it goes to somebody who wants to get that idea, who will act upon that idea. And I've seen that over and over and over and over again in my life. And I said, okay, I'm done with that. I'm done watching other people get rich. I'm done watching people, act upon the ideas that I know I have gotten before. And you've seen it. I've seen it. And so back to Christian Business Connection. This has nothing to do with the person who originally started the group or anything like that. It's just that when I get something, I said, look, I'm going to act upon this. So I started a group called Christian Business Connect, or Christian Biz LV. Okay, so Christian Business LV, or Christian Biz LV, is a bunch of Christian business owners. That's really what it is. It's a networking group. And it's going to be fantastic. It's really something more of my wheelhouse of what I used to do all the time. Grew up in a church, did the whole thing, and went into retail business and into politics. Really feel a lot better being in Christian business type thing, and being a cheerleader than being a politician and being fighting people. That's kind of I'd rather fight the devil than fight people. that makes sense. I know. It's kind of weird. So, anyways, if you would like to get a hold of us about Christian Biz LV, just write to us at ChristianBiz, B-I-Z, LV, like in Las Vegas, at gmail.com. That's ChristianBizLV.com. Okay? Just wanted to mention that because that's something I was telling you guys about that I was going to get involved in. We did. We're already growing. We're already planning our first event, that kind of stuff. So you can get a hold of me if you want to. If you want to get a hold of me and you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube or anything like that, just leave me a message. We'll check during the day, and we'll get your information. We'll get you connected with us, and that way we'll get you to the right place where you can connect with us. Okay. For the rest of you that don't know who I am, I'm the publisher of Livin Vegas magazine, and this is Livin Weekly or this is actually the cover of Livin in Vegas magazine. Sammy Davis Jr. He's just the bad boy. I just love Sammy. I really do. I think that the Rat Pack would have been a totally different group had it not been for Sammy Davis Jr. I really did. He and Frank Sinatra were like bosom buddies, and so this quarter, you look at Livin in Vegas magazine, you're going to see a story about Sammy, the Rat Pack, the return of Cool, and I think you're going to get something out of it. So don't hesitate on getting that. That's at livininvegas.com. Livininvegas.com. You can check out the magazine. Also, we produce another magazine. I know, it's so much stuff that we're producing, and it's called Livin Weekly magazine. So Livin Weekly magazine. Oh, that's not the right cover. Oh, no. Let's change that. I'm going to change the cover of this really quick here, folks. I know that I thought I did this already, and I guess I didn't. So I'm going to change this right before your eyes. Okay? Are we going to be able to change it now? Because I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to change this. I'm not going to be able to change it right now for some reason. I can't get to the... It's interesting. Okay, well, we'll have it for the next show where you can actually see the cover. It's right there. I can see it right there, but I can't get to it. Anyways, many of you heard about what we're going to be talking about. What we talked about last week. We talked about the changes that are going on in Las Vegas. Now, this is not the cover of this current Livin Weekly magazine. This was the week before. Sorry about that. But this current version of Livin Weekly magazine is really all about the big enchilada. And many of you have heard of this. The big enchilada or Project Enchilada, where the city of Las Vegas is going through and they're renovating basically most of the downtown area. And there was an announcement about it that happened, I don't know, 6 months ago? Maybe 6 months ago. Mayor Carolyn Goodman made the announcement and said, hey, you know what, we're going to be doing this renovation. And a lot of it is going to have to do with the neon-clad motels that are on Fremont Street, though. So there's a bunch of them down Fremont Street. And I wish I could get that picture. I can't find that picture. I know, you can't see what I'm doing here, but folks, I can look for it. There is... can I put it up? I wonder if I can put it up. I'm going to try to do this while we're talking here, folks. I know. It's just I'm that guy. I can't let something go. I just can't let it go. I'm going to see if I can find the picture of one of the I'm not going to be able to find it. I don't know why. I'm not going to spend any time looking for it either, folks, because if I do, we got other things to talk about in the show. Okay, I can't find it. But there are at least 5-6 different motels in the downtown area that were iconic in the day. And stakeholders, city of Las Vegas, county commissioners, and city council people are all working together to bring back life to those buildings, those iconic buildings. That is the Project Enchilada. And so you can read about it in this week's edition of Livin Weekly magazine. It's such a cool thing. It really is. And I think for those of you who have been watching the show for any length of time, no, one of the things that we do is we try to give you a little bit more insight into the city, because the city of Las Vegas is more than the strip. It's just, I mean, the strip is wonderful. It's great. But um, there are parts of Las Vegas that are going bye bye, and nobody will even know they ever were here. And for us old timers, we've been here for a long time. We just kind of think it's a shame. As a matter of fact, just recently, the Heartland building, or the Hartley building, I think it's Heartland mansion over off Sixth Street and Charleston was just demoed. So they just demoed it like last week. And the sad thing about that, folks, is that they didn't give the people in the neighborhood time to say, wait. You know, the guy's name is Lanny Love, and Lanny Love, if the name's makes is kind of familiar to it, is the new owner of the building. Lanny Love owns Love's adult bookstore. Okay, I shouldn't say adult bookstore, it's adult playland or whatever you want to call it, where they have a bunch of adult toys. Well, he bought this building that used to be the party place for people like Michael Jackson, Frank Sinatra, Ginger Rogers, all kinds of people party at that place. It's right off of Las Vegas Boulevard. And it's in a really kind of an eclectic, weird area of Las Vegas, right off of east of Las Vegas Boulevard and just south of Charleston. It's kind of a weird little place, almost in the Huntridge area of town. Not quite there yet, but it's just a really eclectic area of town. A lot of big buildings, a lot of little, I don't know what you call them, cabanas, bungalows, stuff like that. It's very, very cool area of town. They never gave when they decided they wanted to demo this building, they never told the neighbors. They said, hey guys, guess what? We're going to demo this building. If you're going to take any pictures, which I did, I went down there and took pictures of it. Before it was demoed, they said, you better get down there and get some pictures. It didn't even happen that way. All of a sudden, I remember I was out there 2 weeks ago because we reported on it. And I went out there after reporting on it to take pictures of it. And there were 2 people out there taking pictures. Myself and another guy who does video blogging. And I forgot the guy's name now. I wish I could remember. So we were out there talking. We were taking pictures. And I told him, and I said this last week, that they're probably going to tear this place down really quick. Because people thought, oh, they're not going to tear it down. I go, oh, no, it's going to go down. It's going to go down like really quick. I told this guy, I said, you watch. They won't even tell the neighbors. They're going to just tear it down. And sure enough, like 2 days later, wrecking ball. Wrecking. And the neighbors are like going, oh, dear Lord, what happened? So, and the reason why I say all that is because in other cities of our size and of our age, they have a heritage foundation that would have said, no, you cannot do that. Under any circumstances can you tear these buildings down because they're historically important buildings. And it's not as though we don't have a heritage foundation. We do have a heritage group that goes around saying, hey, this building, that kind of stuff. But in this case, they missed it. They really missed it because from what I understand, Lanny Love got permitted and had all the rights to tear this building down. The only problem is that he probably shouldn't have done it. It just shouldn't have, because now people are mourning. They're going, oh my gosh, because they really are. Now they're looking back and they're thinking to themselves, boy, I really wish we could have done something about keeping this building. So the whole enchilada is addressing some of that, which is really cool. Very excited about that. The Project Enchilada is addressing this, and they're going to be renovating some of the buildings, and we're very excited about it. We'll be back in a second, folks, for more of Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm your host, Sherman Ray. We'll be back in a second. Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livinginvegas.com. That's advertising@livinginvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Okay, I got it. Okay, so here's the deal. We were talking about the cover of this week's Livin Weekly magazine and Project Enchilada and what we've been talking about here. If you go to our page, Livin Weekly, the Facebook page, just go, Google in Livin Weekly, Livin Weekly, and you can find our page. And just scroll down the page, just right below where I'm talking right now, as a matter of fact. Might be a couple, and it'll show you the cover of the page. It'll show you what it is. It's called Forgotten Las Vegas, Buildings Lost to Time. And these are some of the buildings, and we chronicle some of the coolest buildings in the valley that are gone now, and you will never, unless you read about it in Livin Weekly, you'll never even know what they were. You really won't. And some of you are saying, well, I didn't even know about it anyways. But it won't even affect me. I go, it already has affected you. You never knew they weren't there. But those people that were the owners of those buildings shaped Las Vegas. They really did. I mean, they were the ones who built the streets, who streets were named after, who built the buildings, who built the organizations, those kind of things. Kyle Ranch, that kind of stuff. And some of you are going, Kyle Ranch? I've heard of that word before. Remember Kyle Canyon? Yeah. They actually had a ranch out there. And I remember, because of where I lived when I was a little kid, I was in 3rd and 4th grade. Probably second, 3rd, and 4th grade. Kyle Ranch was probably no more than a quarter of a mile from my house. Literally a quarter of a mile from my house. You could see it. We walk out our driveway down the street and go over to the end of the road. You could look across. You could see it. It was right there. There was a desert. There was so much more desert in those days. So, anyways, go to our page at Livin Weekly, or you can go to livinweekly.com, and you will get this week's Livin Weekly magazine. You can check it out. Okay, we've been talking a lot. Let's get to some of the stories anyways. So this weekend, guess who got married? Eloped. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. Yeah, they came here to Vegas and they eloped. And we won't say much more, but congratulations. Okay, congratulations to Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. They eloped. TMZ broke the story according to court records obtained by TMZ. Couple obtained a marriage license in Clark County, which was taken out on Saturday, July 16th. So that's cool. And they're now Benjamin Gaza Affleck. I didn't know his name was Gaza. Gaza Affleck and Jennifer Lynn Lopez. So they're married again, which is pretty cool. I mean, they've been married before, folks. They really have, and it's not a big deal. Their statement, they're confirming or denying they are now husband and wife, but they probably are. They're just, and nobody, all we care about is that they're happy. It's all we care about is that they're happy and that they're living life and just enjoying one another. There was also another story. Let's talk about the Aces first. Okay, and for those of you, before we have to sign off, there are people who've been saying, hey, sure, we missed the show, couldn't stay up and watch the whole show. You can go to our website, livinginvegas.com, and I've got tons of stuff here that I'm not going to be able to talk about because I talk so much. And we will post all of our articles on livinginvegas.com. So just go to livinginvegas.com, and it's right there on the front. So you can read all this stuff. And there's some cool articles that happened over the weekend. Some not so fun, but they are very important. You need to know about it. Okay, like this one, the Aces, the Las Vegas Aces beat the Phoenix Sun. Is it the Sun? Phoenix Sun? They beat them this weekend, which is very cool. Excuse me, Connecticut Sun. And they beat them 91 to 83. Now, this was cool. This was yesterday's game. We were wanting to see this game because the Aces had been on like a 3-game streak of scoring 100 points per game. The girls are on the hot streak. And so I wanted to watch the game. My wife was even like going, "Hey, I want to watch this game." So we're flipping around trying to find the game. And now this is the okay. We need to see the Aces games, all of the games. Okay. So if anybody would like to broadcast those games, you will have an audience that will watch those games all the time. Okay. The same thing with the FC Lights. Okay. I'm going to complain a little bit. The FC Lights, or the football club Lights, our Las Vegas Lights, who are our soccer team. If you guys would like me to write stories about you so people can find out what you're doing, I will do it. I really will. Because soccer is huge. It's huge in the Valley. It's going to continue to get huger. And you can't get any information from their website for the FC Lights. It's just a terrible site. So anyways, but I will write about you. I'll go to your games. You give me access. All you got to do is give me access. I will write all about you guys. And we'll take pictures. We'll do all that kind of stuff for you. Well, I mean, we're going to charge you. But would love to do that for you because people want to know about you. I've written to you guys about this already. And nobody can tell anybody about you guys because there's no way of getting information because you guys don't post your information. It's just very tough. The FC Lights did their thing. So let's go back to the Aces real quick. So the Aces just signed Kelsey Plum to another contract extension. So she's not going anyplace. Yay! I know. It's pretty cool, huh? So she's not going anyplace. We love Kelsey Plum. We love Kelsey Gray. We love Asia. We love Dearica. Hamby. Love us some Hamby. And all the girls. I mean, we really do. There's nobody on the Aces we don't love. We love us some Coach Hammond. Just love her. Just got our hearts. Just hearts. And we will continue to cheer for them, win, lose, or draw. But we have a feeling they're going to win it all this year. We've been predicting it. I'm gonna go back and get one of our earlier shows that has a prediction for this year. And I will be vindicated, folks, because I really feel like the girls are that close to winning. Also, before we leave, we talked about the Vegas Golden Knights and how Vegas Golden Knights are kind of going back and forth, and they're keeping people, they're losing people, they're keeping people, losing people. For sometimes it's inexplicable reasons. For some of them are very legitimate reasons. The last person that left was Max Pacioretty, and really had nothing to do with Max being hurt or anything like that. It was a money thing. They were just there's so much money you're spending on players, you just have to make a decision. But they were able to bring back Schmitty, and Schmitty has never left Vegas. He just never left. He is one of those guys that everybody loves him. Schmitty is a lot like Brandon Frazier. Okay, I know some of you are my Facebook friends. You were going, "Hey, Sherman, you were talking about Brandon this weekend." Everybody loves Brandon Frazier, and many of you know who he is. Brandon Frazier played Tarzan. He played George of the Jungle. He was in the Mummy sequels. He was in all those. And then all of a sudden, you didn't see the guy. And everybody's going, "Well, where's Brandon Frazier at?" We love Brandon Frazier. He's funny. He's a good-looking guy. He's funny. He has great movies. Fun to watch, that kind of stuff. Well, Schmitty is the same way. Schmitty is the sport version of Brendan Fraser. Everybody loves him. He's just a funny guy, personable guy. He could probably run for mayor of Las Vegas and win. I'm just saying my humble opinion, because we love Schmitty. And when I heard that he was staying, I said, well, the guy never left. He's never left. He has become a fixture here in Las Vegas. Some guys are just that way. We love him. We embrace you with our whole heart. Schmitty, if you ever are doing something and you want to see a true fan Not somebody who's just going to talk about you because you play, but somebody who just likes your personality, who thinks you're a cool guy. Invite me. You invite me. Okay. Same thing with Dearica Hamby. You want somebody who just loves you for being cool. I'm the guy. Okay. Anyways, we got to go. I know. I just talk so much. I talk so much. Anyways, folks, if you'd like to get any of the links, any of the stories that we didn't get to talk about today, just go to our website at livininvegas.com. That's livininvegas.com. And you can get all of that stuff. You really can. So I'm very excited about it. This has been Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think about living in Vegas, think Livin Local and the return of cool. We'll see you again tomorrow for Livin in Vegas podcast, folks. Bye-bye.